Alrighty, welcome back to our Groundskeeper chat series. I am your host, Meg Kruger, live from Palm Springs, SFMA 2025. And today I'm going to be joined by one of my favorite duos to ever do it. And it brings me so much joy to see you wearing this shirt because that gives me hope that maybe you're returning.
That is right. I am.
We're gonna,
Brief scent.
okay, we're going to
Yeah.
get the real down low.
Yeah.
So we are joined by Jakob Scales and Ben Hartman, and we're going to get to talk all about, I really believe you guys are the perfect representation of like mentorship, building someone up to go and, do their own thing and how you've just championed him along the way. I just love every element of it. But first, let's get an update on both of you separately, and then we'll talk 2025. So whoever wants to take it first.
Yeah, I don't really have too much update. It's just crazy to me. We're going into our 5th season already. I had no business being hired as a head groundskeeper at 24 years old, but we were there in 2021, opened up Riverfront Stadium, and like I said, we're already going into our 5th season.
Crazy.
Wait, so you were the first
Yep.
for that stadium?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Yeah, a lot of fun. It's been
if
cool.
you were to if you stay there for so long and so much of your legacy is built at that stadium, how cool would it be to I'm the only groundskeeper, the head groundskeeper that's ever run this thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's
Not
a very
to be like
real,
you have to stay there.
No, there's a very real possibility for that. And we talked about it, back in June or July when we talked. I look up to a lot of the veteran guys that have been there forever. I think Dan Douglas comes to mind and some other folks too,
Yep.
30-year guys. So
Yep.
that have been in the same spot.
Well, Larry DeVito, he's one of your...
Yep, he's a mentor. I mean, just guys that have stayed for years. And I think there's something to be said about that. It's always nice to have an opportunity to go elsewhere, but if you can grow a brand and create a program, and I think that's what
create a mafia
we're starting to do in
is
Wichita.
done in baseball for sure. And one of the first members of the Hartman Mafia was Jakob Scales over here. And I did a presentation yesterday. You got a whole slide part of it again because
Love it.
you're one of my favorite people to follow. Because the portfolio that you're building, the places you've been, the experiences you're having, you're so perfectly. I've never been on a field that you've maintained, so who knows if you're any good? I'm assuming you are because of the awesome gigs that you're getting into, but the way that you're documenting it and sharing it with all of us is just so fun to watch.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, the resume that Scales has built at
I
just
know.
20 years old, I think would make most folks jealous in this industry.
Yeah, it's incredible. Just give us the last year. I mean, I know you were in Arizona for a short amount of time, so just give us what were you able to do since last time we talked?
Yeah, so I guess the last time I was on the podcast was like September 23 or something.
Yep.
So I was a freshman in college, just moved to Arizona. Like a month after that, I got hired on by the Cardinals.
So cool.
So that was an awesome experience. And then got to go to my first SFMA. And then, right into spring training ball. That was insane. I've never experienced anything like that before.
And who were you with for spring training?
I was with the Royals and Rangers complex in Surprise.
Okay.
So a cool setup was my school that I was at was right across the street from the complex.
Okay.
So my car actually broke down during spring traiing, and I could just walk over to the complex
Nice.
for work every day after class. So that was pretty cool.
And so was Kevin your boss, or who's the other guy over there?
Eric Roberts is the head guy out there. Yeah.
Okay.
So that kind of led into a internship with the Royals in Kansas City.
Amazing.
So it's pretty cool to see all the guys down there in spring training and follow them up all the way from February to August when I had to go back to school. So that was pretty cool. I got to go from the Royals and Wind Surge. I would get like 40 hours in the Royals in Kansas City, and I would stay with old Ben Hartman's parents.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
so sweet.
Shout out to Marjorie
Shout out
and Dan.
to Dan and Marjorie. Love you guys.
That's amazing.
When for those that don't know the story, when Scales got the opportunity to go up to Kansas City, I grew up there. I lived in northwest Kansas City for basically the whole growing part of my life. I moved there when I was in kindergarten and then graduated high school from Smithville High School. So when Scales got the opportunity, my mom and dad are empty nesters, and I called him and I said, "Hey, how would you like a 19-year-old kid to come crash for 3 months?"
Oh my
And they were all for it.
Is this a foreign exchange student? Was that very much?
That's amazing.
So they
Good
got
home cooking?
Yeah.
Okay,
And
good. That's what
They got
matters.
some work on the farm for me too, so that was pretty cool.
Dad roped him into farm work.
I love it.
Yeah. So I guess that takes me back into when got back to school in Arizona.
Okay.
Hopped right back on the Cardinals crew, getting more football experience. I had a really fun time with football this season, and that's all credit to Andy Levy.
So
that
cool.
man is a beast, as we all saw
Yep.
this past week with the Rams game.
Insane.
Credit to him. No,
And he got some Diamondback work too.
yeah, I guess I did the Diamondbacks too. It slipped my mind, but yeah, that was cool because they're indoor, they're synthetic, so that was a whole new experience for me too.
Well, and I think that's the post I had. It was like you made a post about like, 2 internships, like one inside, one outside, one natural grass, one synthetic, and how powerful like that post is in comparison to just like a byline on a resume that's like, oh, I worked 2 internships. And just like to see it in color and what you've been able to accomplish is really cool.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned, like working under people like Andy Levy, working with guys like Ben, how that just, not only fuels your fire to keep going in this industry and look for those opportunities, but you get to learn from those people a lot about life as well.
Exactly, yeah.
And, Ben, when we talked a little bit, we talked about how that's one of your favorite elements of the job is that you're almost, building a legacy or you have this opportunity to mentor people. But no, you were a young guy taking that head job. Like they were probably doing a lot of learning alongside you.
Yeah, they were teaching me just as much as I was teaching them.
Yep.
To understand the power you hold as a leader, change those guys' lives. A lot of guys have come back and told me, what I've meant to them, and I never realized that in the moment.
Yep. And it's so easy in, minor league baseball to probably go in and just like, like you guys could like communicate in grunts and just get through the day, the job, but really taking that as an opportunity to, be good people to one another and teach the lessons that, are going to happen off the field as well.
Yeah, for sure. So then just to update and I'll let him talk a little bit more about it.
Now how he's here in a Wichita Surge shirt.
Wichita Wind Surge shirt. He's always going to be on my books. I've actually got a couple guys that are always there, and when they're back, they can help. So he's got to finish up just one semester back home. Then he'll transfer to K-State in the fall. But what's so cool to me is, we talk all the time. He's already looking for other opportunities and just to gain that experience. And he's like, what should I do next? I'm like, dude, I don't know. You've done it all.
Yep.
But he's always willing to look. And so there's some opportunities out there that might come down the road for him this summer to go explore.
Very cool. And so when will you be coming back? Just for a short...
Oh, he's already back. He helped he helped us remove snow last week. We got 10 inches of snow. And
I kid you not. So Fiesta Bowl, December 31st, right? I drive back from Arizona on the 1st of January. I have an interview in the car in the mountains.
Nice.
Did not go great. But that's okay. And he calls me like 3 days later and he's like, hey, you want to come help plow snow? I'm like, I'm kind of a lightweight still, moving back from Arizona.
Yep.
And then I'm like, well, you know what? I could use the money. So I went out and did it. But
you were out there.
We have our earliest event this year that we've had in the past 5 years now. March 1st, we're starting a baseball game, and a little nervous for that because normally we don't start till the end of March, so we're losing a whole month. So in my head, I'm starting to brainstorm, what are we going to do in February?
Yep.
So really talking to him about that. He'll be in there in February for us. And
nice.
Help us at least get kick-started to opening day, and then if he gets some opportunities over the summer, he'll go explore those.
Very cool. Very excited for you. And when does school even happen for you? Like, how are you juggling that alongside all of this?
It's tough, but kind of as I, started college and, made that decision to go out to Arizona, I'm like, a lot of this industry is more geared towards the work experience.
Yeah.
And it's more about the people that you know.
Yeah.
And so I'm really blessed to have that
Definitely.
Network so far.
That's his way of saying I'm getting D's in all my classes.
See, I think that's a good mindset, though, because
I love it. I'm kidding.
How many times have you applied for a job and they've said, hey, what was your college GPA? I know so many college students that are so focused on getting a 4.0, they don't have a life outside of college,
Yep.
you know? Go explore, go work, go hang out with friends.
Magna cum laude over here.
And did they ask for your GPA?
Never. No, they could care less.
Every Monday I ask.
And
They said they're just like, are you a warm body? Sure, come on in.
Yeah, and I think Scales has found a very healthy balance.
Yeah, that's
know.
incredible.
And we're not going to say it on air, but he's still doing well.
Good.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have a 4.0 GPA.
No.
That's disappointing.
Yeah.
I love that.
And that's okay.
I love that. I know, and all the experiences you've got to do. But one thing that's different from last time we talked is you've got a nice piece of jewelry.
Yeah. Got married in October.
I love that.
Love it. She's awesome. So fun story. We dated in high school and college, and then I messed up and I broke up with her. She'll always never let me live
She's
that one down.
got that one in her back pocket for life.
And we reconnected 7 years later, and it just made sense. But what's really cool with Katie, is my wife's name, she watched me develop my turf dream in high school. She watched me open up those college textbooks and was so supportive. So she gets it, and it's incredible.
And for her to come back full circle and get to see you living the dream, I love that.
Absolutely.
Very cool. So what's next? What is your hopes and dreams for your season in 2025? Just make it through, or do you guys got some big things on the horizon?
Well, we're not going to spray the rye out again. That's the ongoing joke. It works. But no, I think just keep growing. I'm really excited. We have 3 more new kids coming in this year that are eyes wide open and willing to learn. So that's my goal, is to grow the turf industry, grow the brand.
Yep.
Just get more efficient and continue to be the best field out there. I'm
Definitely.
sorry to all my other friends in the Texas League, but I'm a very competitive guy and want to be the best. So.
And a little bit of breaking news. I think we have little brother Scales coming on the crew.
Yep.
So
this will be fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
we might be able to reel him into the industry here.
Eli wants to get on this year. He just turned 16, but this will be fun because this will be our second set of brothers that are on the crew.
So cool.
That's really cool point.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh my gosh. And so he's 16, so you could potentially sway him into making it a career as well.
I mean,
because you joined how old were you? You were like
I was
16,
so
yeah.
we can't, just because of the nature of our job and the handling of equipment, we can't hire until 16.
Okay.
Yep.
So and he got in there.
I mean, he saved me from a part-time job at Jersey Mike's. So who knows? I might be, slinging together sandwiches right now instead of on a podcast.
Oh my goodness, that's hysterical. Well, how cool. I mean, I love catching up with you guys. And so you'll definitely spend some time back at home base is how I'll always think of it in my mind.
Absolutely.
They're home base for you. But what else do you hope to accomplish this year? Like, what's on the horizon? Even if it's just like, a new skill or professional development, what are you really looking forward to?
Well, I've kind of realized that I'm really baseball heavy in my experience so far.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed the NFL season, like I said. So I'm deciding between some NFL opportunities right now and trying to experience the off season a little bit.
Okay.
And kind of see what the routine is.
Have you got to paint it all?
I have, yeah.
Okay.
We did some flag football fields.
Okay, very cool.
Around the complex of the Cardinals, so I got to do some of that. And then the yellow media line is not really important, but on the game field. So
I love
pretty
it.
Cool.
I love it. Well, very cool. And both of you do such a great job. I mean, like some of my favorite social media profiles to follow. You guys do a very authentic, consistent way of promoting our industry. Talk a little bit about that, and because it's very easy to just be like, I don't want to do that today. But you guys are so consistent with it. What's the message behind that?
I think there's a couple different things for me. So I love sharing on social media. The one big thing is I'm actually able to scroll back through my own posts and look at that timeline that we've created throughout the year.
Definitely.
So I can be like, I'm looking for this picture from April, and I'm able to find it like that. Another thing that I've really kind of realized once I started posting, at least from my personal account, I have a lot of high school coaches that follow me.
Okay,
or Parks
very
and Rec
cool.
guys.
Oh,
And
you told me this. Yeah,
yeah, and they're always reaching out, and that's really neat. You know, I always want to be that resource, and always offer an opinion at least, and whether they take it or not is that their choice. But it's really neat. And then it also, I don't realize how big of an impact I'm making, because just the one example that sticks out in my head, it was probably a year ago. I walk into Firestone. He goes, "Oh, I saw you on Twitter," you know, and it's like, what?
I love that. Oh my goodness. Well, and you were one of the first rising stars for SFMA, right?
Yeah, I was fortunate to be on the inaugural, do you want to call it board, I guess, of Rising Stars?
Yep,
along
very
with
cool.
Leah and Tyler and, I can't remember who else was on there. But
Well, yeah,
some
Leah and
good-
Tyler, those are the good ones. No.
good those are just the two that come off the top of my head. But
And you also were you won one of the head groundskeeper awards,
so
Back to back.
22 and 23
Whoop,
we
whoop.
got Texas League, and then in 23 we got all of AA.
Very cool.
Very cool. Yeah, it's an honor there.
Definitely. Well, I love what you're building. I love what you guys are doing out there, and you've got a lifelong fan in me. So that's the truth. And talk a little bit about your posting. I mean, you always are my go-to example for like the living, breathing resume. But what else is like your message behind that, or the motivation behind keeping that so consistent and authentic?
Yeah, honestly, it's really just to keep getting my name out there.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it would ever get as well as it's gotten so
Yeah,
far.
definitely some great opportunities from it.
But yeah, just keep getting my name out there. It's super easy to send over my resume and then send over a link to my Twitter and be like, okay, scroll,
Yep.
3 years down the line. Don't scroll too far because there's some mistakes on there that you may or may not
You
want
got
to
to delete
see.
those old tweets, my brother.
Like putting a workman in the water at a golf course somewhere. I wonder who did that. But yeah, it's pretty cool to be able to do that. And
Very cool.
people in today's day and age digest Twitter all the time.
Yep,
And
yep.
Just you think about how you mindlessly just open it and scroll.
Yep.
So it's so easy for someone you send it to and just be like, hey, just look at what I've done.
Yep. I
And
love it.
It's so much easier.
Yeah,
than,
it's a digital resume.
exactly.
For sure.
Exactly.
For sure. Is TikTok in the future for either of you?
If
You
it
got
doesn't
to get in
destroyed-
there in the next 4 days.
Yeah.
No, I've always stayed off TikTok.
He's like, no, thank you. I love it. Well, thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it, and I think there's much more to be had here.
Absolutely.
We'll be keeping a close eye on this one, but I always love what you got going on in your neck of the woods.
Always an honor to jump on with you guys. We love Pioneer. What you're doing is awesome too. So thank you for having us on.
Of course.